Hi and welcome back to Chip's Green World. Today I'm in the potting shed. I'm going to be repotting this daylily. Been pot bound now for about 3-4 years. Because of the style of the pot, I'm going to have to actually saw down all the way around the pot. It's going to be quite brutal using a saw. It's going to be quite brutal. Then I'm going to split it into 4, repot 2 in the garden and then repot 2 in new pots. So yeah, without further ado, I'll get on with that and let you see what else I've been doing in the garden. Bye for now. So one of the first jobs I'm tackling is the honeysuckle. I'm going to prune this back to the first bud, tidy it all up and then tie it all in. Then on to the rose. This is how it looked last year. Absolutely beautiful. Right, so now to tie down all last year's growth. Cover any bare patches. Spud seems to be finding this very interesting. Sat in the shade under the tree. It's a bit of a hot day today for her, which makes the sound of this pond also much more inviting. Dip your little feet in. Anyway, back to the main job. Right, nearly finished. Just bringing these round from the back and bringing them round under so they cover all the bare patch underneath the arch. And it should be done. Right, now on to the buddleia. I'm pruning this back 2/3. There's 3 actually here. I've got 6 altogether in the garden, so I won't show you them all, but I'll show you these 3. The sound of this pond on such a warm day is becoming more and more inviting. I think Spud's in agreement. And off she goes. Right, let's get this last bit done and then on to lunch break. Right, that's it. I'm off for lunch. Spud's at the watering hole, having a drink. Time to chill. Relax. And to be quite honest with you, this is how you'll find me 95% of the time in the garden. Oh, thirsty work, this garden lark. Right, back to it. Back in the potting shed. So I've been sorting this for a while. I wouldn't show you it all because it took quite a long time. But now I'm nearly there. Right, so I'm going to split this straight down the centre. Then down the centre of each half. So there we go, 4 nice big chunks of daylily. This is the lily itself. Beautiful. So now I'm going to have 4 of these in the garden, 2 in pots and 2 in the ground. Right, so here I am reusing the old pot that I could have smashed and made my life so much easier. But like the majority of Yorkshiremen, that's never going to happen. Alright, so that's the 2 in the pots done. And the other 2 going in the ground. There's the original one back in its place, looking so much better. And here's the one I've placed down in the courtyard. Right, so not to worry, don't adjust your TV sets. This is last summer. And why I'm putting these pictures on is the rosemary that wraps itself around the centre pot. This is how it looked over winter, and the frost was so harsh. We lost it. The whole lot had to go. Had to prune it all away to see if there was any live wood whatsoever, and there was so little of it that I decided to take the whole thing out, so I had to dig the whole thing up. Very sad day indeed. So for now, what I've done, with there being a number of irises, salvias in the garden that we're not happy where they weren't getting enough sun, so I've transferred them all here Also, I had a lot of aquilegia that I'd self-seeded in certain places around the garden where they weren't needed, so I've also transferred all them here too. So now they just need a good water, and here's Water Boy just in time. You'd think this would be the one job I would never need to worry about. Wrong. Story for a later date. Right, let's leave Water Boy there and have a look at the cherry coming into blossom. I planted this 2 years ago, so I'm really pleased with how it's doing. And then on to the damson. This is the best I've seen the damson do. The blossom on it is phenomenal. Now just for some damsons this year maybe. As the evening draws in, the shadows creep across the lawn, spuds getting all snuggly bugs. And while the cat's away, the birds will play. Here's a little montage of what's going on. Why spuds snuggly bugs on the bench. Oh look, little robin. Little robin redbreast. How beautiful. And if you're thinking, surely the cat's not in the garden. She is. Completely in dreamland, exhausted by the day. Missing all the commotion. Oh, and here he is, back again. Obviously didn't do it right the first time round. Alright, we'll leave them to bathing and we'll go on to the euphorbia. I used to have a little pot with the euphorbia in here and it rooted through the bottom, and since I've moved it, this is what has popped up. Free plants. Not to forget the forget-me-nots. Popping their little heads up to say hello. Right, so on to the last job of the day, to plant the two other halves of the daylily. They're going into the far reaches of the garden, which gets the late sun. And there we go, them two in the ground. Where's Water Boy when you need him? Just the sort of thing you need to remind you of how peaceful it is in the garden. Right, so that's it this week. Hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully you'll join us next week. So goodbye, have a great week.